Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the Operations Committee for the County of Renfrew for Tuesday, August 13th to order. As we gather here today, we acknowledge on behalf of the County of Renfrew and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Omama Winini Algonquin people. We thank the Omama Winini people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of Indigenous people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. And I probably didn't do that as badly as some people did. Has roll call been taken?
Yes, thank you, Chair, and we have quorum.
Thank you. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion for the adoption of the open minutes of our meeting of June 11th. Moved by member from Laurentian Valley, seconded by the member from McNabb Braeside. Comments, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? That is carried. We have no delegations listed. Public Works and Engineering Department report and the Director's report. Mr. Perkins.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you, Chair, and through you to committee. Welcome back from summer. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. Item 1, of course, is our Treasurer's report, and that's attached in the package. Monthly projects report is also attached in the package, and the capital program variance is also attached, and we can discuss them afterwards if you like, or during the capital presentation from Mr. Hanrath. Item 4 is a traffic study request for County Road 51, the Petawawa Boulevard. So attached is a resolution from the town of Petawawa requesting that the County of Renfrew review and conduct a traffic study along the section of County Road 51, which is Petawawa Boulevard, from Golf Course Road to Silk Road. So right now, when you come out of the city of Pembroke and you're into the township of Laurentian Valley, the speed limit is 80, and then it carries all the way 80 into basically the town of Petawawa. So this is where the village of Petawawa was, is what they're looking for, a speed reduction. So they've agreed to pay the $750 fee as per the user bylaw, and staff will return with a recommendation at a later date. Item 5, also attached, is a concept drawing of an entrance to the new Petawawa station from County Road 51 onto Norman Street. So this project will be a right-in and right-out configuration, and this initiative is led by the town of Petawawa, who will be responsible for all associated costs. Item 6 is the Highway 17 statistics. So from my counterpart at MTO, they forwarded on the 2021 statistics, which we already had, but they also included a PowerPoint presentation for the basic collision reports for 2023, so you can see on the heat map where the collisions were. Item 7 is the American Public Works Association PWX program review. So attached is an expression of appreciation from the president of APWA, allowing myself to serve as a one-year volunteer with the group. So what it is they put together a public works exhibition. So it's the largest public works exhibition in North America. Next year actually is in Chicago. This year it's in Atlanta, but next year is in Chicago. So they've asked me to do a program review. So what it is we actually, a group of us get together and we set up all the educational sessions. So it's very interesting, and it's an afternoon. I will get a copy of all the sessions, so there's a couple of thousand to go through, but I do that at home, so not on county time. But the actual trip to do the selection is in Kansas City, and I'll have to go for an afternoon for that for sure. So thank you very much for that. Radar speed signs, County Road 26, Doran Road. So attached is a resolution from the Township of Laurentian Valley requesting the installation of radar speed signs on County Road 26, Doran Road. Staff has reviewed the request, and we installed the radar speed signs in July, knowing full well that it would have been the end of the summer before we would have got them into place. So we took the initiative to go ahead and get them in place. And actually this was great because the town of Laurentian Valley purchased 4 themselves. So we got an economy of scale by buying 6, and the town of Laurentian Valley paid for half of the 2 that we installed. So it was a win-win all the way around. And I believe all of them are in place now. I know the ones on Doran are in place. And with that, I'll leave it for resolutions.
Thank you, Director Perkins. So we'll We'll do the resolutions now. So item number 9.
Oh, no,
Oh,
we'll do the
okay,
information.
sorry.
Sorry.
I love the new agenda. Okay, so we'll move back. Item number 1, the treasurer's report. Any questions? Everybody had time to review that? Seeing none. Item number 2, monthly project status report. Item number 3, the capital variance report. Item number 4, the traffic study request for County Road 51. Item number 5, the concept drawing for the entrance for the new Petawawa Station, County Road 51. Item number 6, Highway 17 statistics. Item number 7, the American Public Works Association Program Review Committee. Item number 8, the radar speed signs, County Road 26, Doran Road, and the, I guess, for lack of a better term, partnership with Laurentian Valley. Seeing none, we will move on to resolutions. Item number 9, Highway 17 Champlain Bridge Rehabilitation, Municipality of West Nipissing, request for support. Recommendation that the Operation Committee recommends to County Council that a letter of support be sent under the word and signature to the Ministry of Transportation in support of the request from the Corporation of the Municipality of West Nipissing in regards to the replacement of Champlain Bridge located on Highway 17 west of the town of Sturgeon Falls. Can I get a mover and seconder, please? Moved by the member from Madawaska Valley, seconded by the member from Arnprior. And some background, please.
The background is attached. So as you may have read through it, the town of West Nipissing, they have a large bridge in their municipality, which is actually theirs, but it's on Highway 17, and they can't afford to replace it. So they're seeking support from other municipalities throughout the province to urge the MTO into providing funding for it.
Okay, any comments, questions, concerns? Member from Arnprior.
Thank you, Chair. Not a concern, but is this the first time we've got a resolution for a bridge from another municipality?
I don't recall a lot, but
If I could, Chair, through you, Chair. No, I'm trying to remember when. You recall that the town of the municipality of Mattawa, no, it wasn't even Mattawa, oh my gosh, our partners in the trail, Papineau Cameron, there's the bridge that trucks keep hitting as they go into Mattawa off of Highway 17. The Trails Committee looked at, and I just can't remember the resolution, whether to remove it or find another path for it or widen it or heighten it to allow trucks underneath it. So we've dealt with resolutions in other municipalities to support advocacy to the MTO to do something with that bridge, whatever that width is. It just escapes me at the moment in that particular sense.
yeah, I think there's opportunity for, supporting our neighbors in these types of requests on a limited kind of basis. And in turn, perhaps we get some support for something we need in the future. So, member from Arnprior, follow up? No? Okay. Ward Nemo.
Thank you. It's a pretty significant, and I was trying to look for the email I got from somebody up. I sent a couple questions up. I believe the average daily traffic count on that bridge is well over 20,000, and I think the truck traffic is half of it. So it's a pretty significant route for us, for those of us in Eastern Ontario, and through to Montreal for transporting goods. And the other piece is $30 million is a very significant hit for any municipality, but especially a smaller rural one like this one. So the other issue is that they make note of is a connecting link. Connecting link, you won't get $3 million. That's the maximum. So that makes it 27 million, which is it's not worth even considering. So no, I this is another example of infrastructure that likely shouldn't have been downloaded to them anyway. I'm kind of surprised at it. That's why I went and did some research on it. So, no, I'm fully supportive of this.
Yeah, thank you for that. And Yeah, the concern I had there was this is the King's Highway, the Trans-Canada Highway, so why does it belong to a municipality? I wasn't quite sure, but nevertheless it is, so. Anyway, anything further? All those in favor? And that is carried. We'll move on to item number 10, automated speed enforcement. Recommendation 1, that the Operations Committee direct staff to begin the process of automated speed enforcement on county roads that meet the Ontario provincial government criteria using local service authority provided solution. And recommendation number 2, that the Operations Committee direct staff to communicate with all lower-tier municipalities, including the City of Pembroke, to request their participation in automatic speed enforcement on local roads where applicable, and that staff also be directed to communicate with local police detachments in order for them to provide their comments on automated speed enforcement, and that the Finance Administration Committee be so advised. I'll turn this over to Ms.
Mover and seconder.
Oh, sorry. Can I get a mover and seconder for that?
One at a time, recommendation 1.
Okay, so for recommendation number 1, moved by the member from McNabb Braeside, seconded by the member from Laurentian Valley. And are we going to Mr. Perkins or Mr. Burke?
Yeah, so this here is, as you know, we've have a number of safety issues throughout the county. We have a number of speeding issues in around the county. Also, as you know, the OPP enforcement is stretched thin, and the resources are stretched quite a bit. So this is an opportunity for us to move forward with photo radar in community safety zones, and also. As we'll get to the second part of the recommendation, we want to reach out to our local municipalities and see if we can work with them as well. And actually, Mr. Burke can comment to that, but that's the goal here now, is to begin the process of dealing with LAS to get everything in place to install photo radar in a number of, community safety zones within the county, on our county roads right now. So
Okay,
that's recommendation 1, sir. Thank you.
Because this recommendation includes the criteria using the LAS provided services, perhaps I can ask Mr. Burke to make a comment on the costs associated with it, or revenue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And if I can add to Director Perkins' background, operations, of course, is concerned primarily with safety. If I put on my point of view, the POA department is functionally a revenue generating department that is struggling to generate revenue. So this would be the alternative we would look to help us bring in more revenue by automating certain low value police enforcement functions, like speed enforcement where we can do this. And we would look to feed this into our own POA court system. So a number of municipalities, such as Ottawa, have gone the other route, which is to create their own system of applying municipal fines outside of the POA court system. We believe we have capacity to do this through our POA court system. So all we're looking for is a solution that would automate the police ticketing. AMO, through its LAS wing, has a solution for this. It's in use in a couple municipalities, primarily Barrie is the most advanced at the moment. So they are using this system with a centralized, they're not police officers, but they are enforcement officers who will review the photo evidence and lay the ticket. The ticket is then fed into our court system, just the same as any other police ticket that would be laid. And it's up to us to collect that revenue. So I've priced out sort of the estimates there, and it looks like it is feasible for our roads. To carry on then, if we go down this road, it's probably beneficial to include the local tiers, and you also have either community safety zones or school zones that we could potentially generate revenue on. Likewise, with the City of Pembroke, the POA court is a cost-shared department. So any net revenue we earn is shared with the City of Pembroke, so therefore they may be interested in expanding the operation onto city roads as well. That would be of a benefit.
Very well, thank you for that. Yeah, I originally thought that the administration costs on these systems was much higher than what's being shown, but, so it looks like it's possible, and as Mr. Burke pointed out, from this committee's point of view, it's around safety and you know, speed control, traffic calming, all that kind of stuff. So, any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that is carried. And then we'll move on to the recommendation number 2. I'm assuming you don't need me to read it again. I'll get a mover and seconder. Moved by the member from Madawaska Valley, seconded by the member from Arnprior. And just anything additional?
No, exactly as Mr. Burke said, we are going to reach out to our municipal partners and the city of Pembroke, as well as the OPP, and then we'll bring it back to advised finance.
Okay, anything further? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. So now we will move on to the, what are we moving on to? Oh, there it is. Well, I can't find it. So we'll move on to the Capital Works Division report, and Mr. Hanrath.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to committee. Good afternoon, everyone. Item number 1 is an information item, delegated authority approvals. The following items were approved under bylaw 9824, delegated authority bylaw. The first is contract 2351448A, reconstruction of County Road 73, Deep River Road, from Algonquin Street to Champlain Street in the town of Deep River, awarded to McRae Excavating Limited in the amount of $648,912 plus applicable taxes. The second is PWC 2024-18, supply and delivery of granular M on Algonquin Trail from Yates Road to Ashport Road in the amount of $466,735 plus applicable taxes. Both of these items came in under budget, so we're able to be approved through delegated authority.
Thank you for that. So was there any comments or questions on item number 1? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to resolutions. Item number 2, PWC 2022-47, contract amendment for the additional engineering services for reconstruction of county structure, C201, Brooms Creek Culvert and Dam. Recommendation that the Operations Committee approve the scope change request to contract PWC 2022-47 engineering services for the reconstruction of county structure C201, Brooms Creek Culvert and Dam, as submitted by J.L. Richards and Associates Limited, Ottawa, for additional engineering services required to widen the structure, roadway, and embankments in the amount of $42,255 plus applicable taxes, and that an amendment to contract PWC 2022-47 be executed for the additional services to increase the upset limit of the contract to $267,039 plus applicable taxes. Can I get a mover and seconder, please? Moved by the member from McNabb Braeside, seconded by the member from Laurentian Valley. Mr. Hanrath.
Thank you, Chair. Through you to committee, I'll attempt to summarize some of the background here. So in 2022, we entered into a detailed design assignment with J.L. Richards and Associates for the design for the reconstruction of C201 Brooms Creek Culvert and the dam that's located immediately upstream. At the time of the project award, the impression was that the new structure would be of similar dimension to the existing, and we wouldn't be increasing the width of the structure. Given that the reconstructed structure will be in place for 75 to 100 years, we decided to reevaluate and look at what would be required for a structure that meets current geometric design guidelines, as well as Canadian Highway Bridge Design Code requirements. As we're replacing the structure in its entirety, now would be the time to meet the current requirements. So we asked J.L. Richards to look at a wider structure in order to meet these requirements going forward, because it would be cost prohibitive to enact them in the future.
Thank you for that. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? And that is carried. We will now move on to the Operations Division report. Mr. Balduke.
Thank you, Chair Doncaster. Through you to committee, item number 1 is, under information is summer operations. Item A is roadside mowing. This summer's been quite cool and wet, so the grass hasn't gone dormant. So we finished our first cut, and we're returning to those areas that require a second cut. Item B is annual pavement marking program. The contractor Trillium Pavement Marking of Carlton Place is continuing to go out throughout the county, and they are anticipated to be completed by August 25th, so we're following that, and all the capital works that are completed after that will follow with pavement marking as they are completed. Item C is maintenance hole and catch basin cleaning. The awarded contractor, Excite Enterprises of Eastern Ontario, started the first week of June and was completed by the June 10th. Item D is the hazardous weed control program. We started the program June 24th, and we are completed by mid-July. So that's we're in compliance with our approval with the MOECP. Item E is the Weed Control Act program. We've received a few calls, and a few orders have been issued under the program. One in Laurentian Valley, and just an update, the weeds were destroyed on that particular item, and the other one was in Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards, and that was complied with on July 7th. Item 2 is the annual vehicle and safety inspection. The province started a new program for the MVIS program, the Motor Vehicles Inspection and Safety Program. And for those of you, for your information, we have 3 certified inspection stations in the county, 1 for the emergency services and 2 for public works. And the province went to a new electronic system. All the mechanics now have iPads that are connected directly to the ministry. So that program is in place now, and we should be in compliance with that program. They have extended the deadline, but we're already in compliance. Item 3 is quotations and tenders. The following tenders were awarded by the Director of Public Works under delegated authority, so they're here for your information. Item A is PWO 2024-16 2 enclosed cargo trailers. And this tender was awarded to Cecil C. Elliott Farm Equipment Limited of Pembroke, Ontario, in the amount of $17,320. Item B is PWO 2024-10 1 2-ton asphalt hot mix transporter. And this tender was awarded to Cubex Limited of Brantford, Ontario, in the amount of $52,600. And for your information on that item, that's our 4th hot mix transporter. So now we have replaced all of them in all 4 of our patrols, and they work excellent. They're diesel type. We transitioned from propane to diesel, and they're working excellent. Item C is PWO 2024-11 1 reversible vibratory diesel plate packer. This tender was awarded to East Rock Equipment Incorporated, Vars, Ontario, in the amount of $21,149. There was a slight irregularity in the submission, only that they offered an alternate option. The director signed off on this irregularity, and it was then awarded. Item D is PWO 2024-15 1 20-ton tag-along float. The tender was awarded to 9233067 Canada Incorporated of Bolton, Ontario, in the amount of $52,235. And next will be bylaws.
Okay, thank you for that. We'll move back to review the information items. Number 1, summer operations, roadside mowing, annual pavement marking program, maintenance hole and catch basin cleaning, hazardous weed control. Member from Armpire.
Thank you, Chair. To Rick, from what I understand, our weed control consists of wild parsnips and poison ivy for control on not River Road, on White Lake Road, from the bridge to White Lake, on both sides of I call it the purple people eater, whatever that weed is called. It's going into the fields for the farmers. And once that's in there, you can't get rid of it. Can we upgrade that particular plant to our list of things to add along the side of the highway on our property anyways?
Mr. Balduke.
Yes, through Chair Doncaster to Councillor Lynch. There's currently a policy on hazard and toxic weeds. So the current weeds that we're targeting are hazardous to our workers and to the public. I've been talking to the director for the last little while about a new policy regarding invasive species. So we currently have a few requests. Purple loosestrife is one of them. Under your question, Phragmites is another, and also most recently, there was a third one, escapes me at the moment, but so we're looking at putting together a policy on that. One good thing is that the purple loosestrife is generally defined or stays in one area, but we will add that to the list when we get to that policy as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you for that. Member supplemental.
The timeline, I know when you said timeline, will it be this year, ready for next year? Possibly?
Mr. Balduke.
Throw that out.
Yeah, through the chair again, through Councillor Lynch. We would definitely like to put together that policy and put it forward for budgeting for that as well. We would need to consider the costs and bring that forward for your approval. But if that is approved, we should be able to deal with that.
Chair, I'm not a scientist, but whatever chemical we're throwing on the poison ivy and whatever, is there some other ingredient that'll control this purple stuff that could be included in that chemical? You know, I know you can buy DOT for mosquitoes and you can get multiple brands that cover off every mosquito. Is there a chemical that'll cover off this one as well?
Mr. Balduke.
We would need to most likely switch chemicals. The one that's listed is more for the hazard and toxic plants. There's quite a few on the market. We would definitely try and source one that would deal with at least the three types of invasive plants that we're dealing with, and making sure that we don't impact the rest of the environment. That's one of the things is we have to use a certified pest management person to review all that and then follow all the provincial and federal guidelines. So that would be our goal, is to pick the proper herbicide to deal with that.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I think that if we're embarking on that type of policy, I know that there's certainly concerns out in the public around the use of these chemicals. So I think that within that policy, we should probably have some type of a notification procedure for residents. So anything further on D? Move to E, the Weed Control Act program. And then item number 3, the annual vehicle inspections, safety inspections. Item 3, the quotations and tenders. Item A, which is the cargo trailers. Item B, the hot mix transporter. Number C, the vibrating diesel plate packer. Oh, member from Armpire.
Thank you, Chair. Just being picky, I see under it says 18,425, yet the tender was 21,149. Should it not
Mr.
be one or
Balduke.
the other?
Yeah, sorry about that. It gets reviewed by quite a few people, and I definitely missed that. So we'll have to, I guess, we'll report on what the actual award was next month.
I noticed that. Okay. I noticed the number, but I thought it was part of that discrepancy you were talking about, so. Okay, we'll sort that out in minutes. And then item D, the 1-ton tag-along float. Okay, we'll move on to bylaws, item number 4.
Sorry, excuse me,
Ward
Chair.
Nemo.
Just, I think just for the public's notice, most of these pieces of equipment are being replaced because they're aged out. It's not that we've gone on a shopping spree to get a whole pile of new toys. So I just, I think that's important to note that most or all of this equipment has been aged out due to our asset management plan, which for some of our stock, I think trailers is 12 to 15 years or 15 to 20, can't remember. But anyway, so just a note.
Thank you for that. Probably a statement that should have been my responsibility, but thanks for providing that information. So we'll move along to item 4, bylaws, PWO 2024-09, 1 vibratory dual drum roller. Recommendation that the Operations Committee recommends to County Council that contract PWO 2024-09 as submitted by J.R. Breeson Equipment Limited, Stittsville, Ontario, for the supply and delivery of 1 vibratory dual drum roller in the amount of $151,962 plus applicable taxes be approved, and the County Council adopt a bylaw to execute the purchase. Mr. Balduke.
Thank you, Chair Doncaster, and through you to committee. The background, we used the canoe program that the county subscribes to. We received 3 bids, and we're recommending the low bid. This one is coming to committee since it was slightly over budget. We do have savings from other tenders. We were lucky this year that the pickup trucks, the rebates came back on after COVID. So we have some savings there, and we would like to apply it to this purchase.
Okay, thank you for that. Mover and seconder, please. Member from Laurentian Valley, seconded by the member from Arnprior. We've heard the background. Any comments, questions? Seeing none, I'll call a question. All those in favor, and that is carried unanimously. Closed now, or adoption of the report as a whole? Okay. So could I get a mover and seconder for the report as a whole? Moved by the member from McNabb-Brayside, seconded by the member from Madawaska Valley. Any further comments, questions? Seeing none. All those in favor? And that is carried. And I guess just, I hate this new agenda, by the way. Public Works. See, I can't even find my page now. I know, I'm pretty sure it's new business. Yeah, okay. I still need to find my paper. So just one item I'd like to bring up that I'd like to pass along my congratulations and the committee's congratulations to Taylor Hanrath, who now has his professional engineer's designation. So great asset to the county. Well done. Thank you very much. Oh, there it is.
So that means next year when we go to Good Roads, guess who's buying?
Yeah.
That's a tradition, trust me.
Okay. Okay, any other new business? Member from Laurentian Valley.
Thank you, Chair, through you. I'd like to request consideration to a suggestion for improved communication. This is specific to 2 trial projects that happened, one on Forest Lee Road, the other on Mud Lake Road. The one on Mud Lake Road, it started off a couple of weeks ago with many calls on dust related to the single surface treatment that was going on. To as late as yesterday, when there's still I guess, calls being received concerning the loose stones that are still on the surface. They're damaging cars, to people not feeling safe that if they have to stop abruptly, that they're going to be sliding off the road, to the active transportation lane that is no longer suitable to bicycles, whatever. And I realize we're aware as to what's happening or what that surface treatment was going to do. However, we not to the full extent as to what repercussions may come about from that. So I'm just wondering, especially where there's I guess many residents in the area who are involved in this, some sort of a communication. I do realize that, I guess a postcard was sent out by students or whatever, at what point. It may not have included all of that, but just something else to alert the students. I know, first off, I responded and said, call the county operations. However, the municipality got a lot of calls. I'm still getting calls. They look to see, they know the local councillors. They want to speak there, and they expect us to have the answers, and we don't. We have to say, pass it on. So even then, to that respect, a little bit more communication to us, ourselves, would be probably somewhat beneficial. So please ask you to consider that and under advisement for future.
Yeah, you want to comment, Mr. Henrith?
Yeah, just one moment. I'll share my screen here just to give some background. There we are. So the treatment that the councillor from the Township of Laurentian Valley is referring to, or at least the one on Road 19, it's a SAMI surface sealer. So SAMI stands for Stress Absorbing Membrane Interlayer. So the first layer that goes down is a fiber reinforced mat, more or less, but it's a layer of tack that's sprayed down. The fibers are laid over the tack, and then you spray over top of the fibers, and then you put a layer of stone over top, almost like a surface treatment, in order to have a surface on it. That takes time to cure, so while it's curing, it's compacted while it's being laid, but while it's taking the time to cure, the loose gravel has to remain in place in order for traffic to drive it further into the mat to create a smooth surface afterwards. And I'll just show a couple of pictures here. So this is before the stone's gone over top. You can kind of see the fiber mesh laid into the emulsion. And on the far side of the road here, this is after the stone's been laid. This is the next pass in the lane over. So it takes time for this emulsion to break, as it's called, or cure. And while that's happening, the stone has to remain in place. Once it's cured, they come through, they sweep it. On this particular project, it needs a protective layer of surface treatment placed over top. So the similar process happens again. They spray an emulsion, they lay another layer of stone, and that loose stone has to remain in place after compaction for a certain amount of time in order for it to cure, and then the contractor comes through, sweeps it off. But until that sweep off happens, it gives the appearance that there's going to be a loose top road in place. So a lot of the complaints were dust from people driving on the road while the loose top was still in place, concerns that the loose top stone was going to remain in place, and that they were going to be stuck with not a hard surface where they had a hard surface before. So once the final sweeping occurs, it'll be a hard surface road similar to what was there before. It's a surface sealer that goes over top of the asphalt layer. And the active transportation lanes, once the lines are painted, the hardened shoulders, will be back in place once the lines are repainted, so that the road will have the same geometric appearance as it did before, just with all the cracks sealed and the surface sealed. We will improve our communication going forward to advise the residents of the process that's followed. Because it takes so long for everything to cure, there's no contractor on site while the curing's occurring, so it gives the appearance that we're done and we're off site, which isn't the case, and we had a number of questions about that as well. So we'll improve our communication on these types of projects going forward so that people are aware that we are coming back and that it won't remain as a loose stone surface going forward. Oh, and we're also going to be updating our specifications to require sweeping at the earliest possible opportunity in the curing process so that we're back to a hard surface and less dust and less loose stone.
Yeah, I think that one thing to keep in mind is when this was first presented to us, this is kind of a test project kind of thing. But I would suggest that if we moving forward, that we have some large signs created that say something about this ongoing project. Supplementary.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Two suggestions were, number one, it's very difficult to see at night. How soon is the line painting going to be happening? And second, as Chair just mentioned, even signs saying slow down, loose gravel, whatever. Those were from the calls yesterday.
Yeah, Mr.
And if I
Hammer.
may, Chair, through you to the Councillor from Township of Laurentian Valley. So there was cautionary signs up about the loose gravel and to slow speeds. Going forward, we're going to put up our own regulatory signs to slow traffic to 40 kilometers an hour while the gravel's loose, which is standard practice on surface treated. But we'll actually have the regulatory signs on any projects like this going forward.
Thank you.
And line painting will happen once we get our contractor out there for it.
Thank you.
Member from Arnprior.
Thank you, Chair. Some 60 years ago, I used to be on the construction gang, and we had a thing called wobblies. If you've got loose gravel on and you're going to use my car to pack it in, why not just have wobblies that's going to go the entire length from side to side instead of waiting for my car to go down the traffic portion before you sweep it? It would alleviate all your loose gravel. Thanks.
I don't even know what you just said.
If I may, Chair, through you to the Councillor from the Town of Arnprior, I believe that's referring to a rubber tire roller. Yes. So they do have 2 rubber tire rollers that follow behind while everything's being laid, but it still has to remain in place to make sure that any stone still gets packed in over that few days after placement.
More, yeah, okay. Anything further under new business? Seeing none, we will move to a closed meeting. Recommendation that pursuant to Section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended, the Operations Committee move into a closed meeting for the purpose of a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board with respect to County Road 1 widening. Can I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by the member from Laurentian, Madawaska Valley, seconded by the member from Laurentian Valley. All those in favor? That's carried. We are in closed. Okay, thank you, and welcome back to our viewing audience. We've concluded with our closed meeting. The date of our next meeting will be Monday, September 9th, 2024. And at this point, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by the member from McNabb Braeside, seconded by Ward Nemo. You okay with that? You should get your name in there somewhere. All those in favor? And that is carried. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.